Pain to most people is the enemy. It is something to be avoided, numbed, or silenced. But to the Stoics, pain was not the enemy. Pain was a messenger, a mirror, a teacher. Marcus Aurelius, writing in the solitude of his imperial chamber, faced physical pain, emotional turmoil, and the burden of leadership. Yet he penned, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." In this single sentence, a radical truth is revealed. Pain is shaped not by circumstance, but by perception. To live as a Stoic is to understand that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Seneca, the wealthy philosopher exiled and betrayed, declared, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." He saw how fear magnifies pain before it even arrives. The Stoic sees pain, accepts it, and then asks the only question that matters: what will I do with this? Pain, in Stoic thought, is not only a test, but a tool. It strips away the unnecessary, focuses the soul, and reveals our true priorities. When we lose something we thought we needed, we learn what we truly value. When we are broken, we discover what cannot be broken within us. A modern person may be surrounded by comfort, yet feel lost. A Stoic, deprived of luxury, may stand tall because their peace was never tied to the external. Pain is a compass that brings us back to virtue, courage, temperance, justice, and wisdom. It asks us, are you living according to your values, or have you strayed? Pain doesn't just punish, it purifies. It doesn't just strike, it shapes. When we change our relationship with pain, we change our relationship with life itself. The Stoic doesn't chase pain, but neither does he run from it. He walks through it, head held high, heart open, eyes clear. So when pain arrives at your doorstep, greet it not as an intruder, but as an instructor. Sit with it, learn from it, and rise from it wiser and stronger than before. The Stoics taught that virtue is not born in comfort, but in discomfort. In the fire of hardship, the steel of the soul is forged. If you look at the lives of the great Stoic philosophers, none were spared from suffering. Epictetus was born a slave and lived with a crippled leg. Yet he became one of the most influential minds in history, not in spite of discomfort, but because of it. Discomfort is the forge where courage, endurance, and clarity are made. It strips away illusion and demands presence. In the morning chill, in the silence of solitary effort, in the resistance of a cold plunge or a long run, the Stoic finds himself. He learns that he is not defined by ease, but by the strength with which he endures unease. The modern world teaches us to chase comfort, soft beds, easy mornings, constant stimulation. But comfort makes us fragile. The Stoic reverses this programming. He wakes before the sun, not because it is easy, but because it is hard. He chooses the discipline of effort over the temptation of idleness. He deliberately places himself in small daily discomforts to prepare for the greater ones life may throw his way. A cold shower becomes more than a habit, it becomes a symbol. I choose to step into what is unpleasant to train my will. A hard workout becomes a declaration. I will not be broken by resistance. Even small acts like fasting or digital silence sharpen our focus and reveal where we've become weak. Seneca wrote, "Set aside now and then a number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself all the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?' Through discomfort we discover resilience. Through denial, we find what truly nourishes us. The Stoic does not seek suffering for its own sake. He does not glorify pain, but he does honor challenge. For it is challenge that calls out the best in him. And so each act of discomfort is a quiet rebellion against the chaos of the world. Each deliberate hardship is a step toward mastery. Embrace discomfort, not as punishment, but as practice, not as cruelty, but as craft. This is the forge of virtue, and it burns away all that is false. The body may feel the ache, but it is the mind that defines our reality. The Stoics believed that training the mind was not a once-in-a-while effort. It was a daily discipline. Just as an athlete repeats drills to build muscle memory, the Stoic repeats mental practices to build clarity and resolve. Mental resilience begins with awareness. Each morning, the Stoic reviews his thoughts, just as Marcus Aurelius did in his meditations. He questions them, challenges them, and purifies them. He understands that thoughts left unexamined grow wild. They distort perception and weaken judgment. Meditation for a Stoic is not escapism, it's confrontation. He confronts fear by imagining the worst, as Epictetus advised, and stripping it of its sting. He visualizes loss, failure, and discomfort, not to dwell in despair, but to rob them of surprise. This is the practice of premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of adversity. When your mind rehearses hardship, it no longer panics when hardship arrives. This is not pessimism, it is preparation. It is strength in the form of foresight. Mental training also involves redirecting the internal narrative. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" the Stoic asks, "What will I do with this?" This subtle shift turns the victim into the victor. It reframes pain as a platform for power. When thoughts become aligned with reason and values are affirmed each day, the mind becomes a fortress. Distractions, insults, fears, they bounce off the inner wall. The Stoic doesn't seek to control the world. He seeks to master the only thing he ever could, his own mind. And so each morning reflection, each practiced acceptance, each moment of silence is another rep in mental training. A Stoic builds not only a strong body, but an unshakable mind. Stoicism is not theory, it is action. Philosophy for the Stoic is not a matter of contemplation alone. It is something lived, breathed, enacted. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Each day is a canvas, each action a brushstroke. The Stoic paints not with passivity but with purpose. He rises early, plans deliberately, acts consistently. His to-do list is not a measure of productivity, it is a reflection of priorities. Discipline is his anchor. He does what he says when he says he'll do it, because that is integrity. The modern world is full of talkers, dreamers, planners. The Stoic becomes rare by doing. A Stoic day is shaped by small acts done well. He speaks with honesty, even when it's uncomfortable. He helps without recognition. He forgives, not because others deserve it, but because resentment poisons the soul. He leads by example, not for glory, but because virtue demands it. Each moment is an opportunity to embody the philosophy he studies, not in grand gestures, but in how he holds the door, listens fully, stands up straight, and chooses courage when fear whispers. This is living philosophy. This is Stoicism in motion. The Stoic doesn't just endure pain, he transforms it. He doesn't hide from it or wish it away. He walks through it, looks it in the eye, and turns it into fuel. Every scar is a lesson, every loss a refinement, every failure a recalibration. Life gives us pain, but it is up to us to give that pain meaning. When the body aches, the Stoic says, "Good, let me learn endurance." When betrayal stings, he says, "Now I understand loyalty." When death comes close, he does not tremble. He honors life all the more. This is alchemy of the spirit, the turning of suffering into wisdom. The Stoic understands suffering is not a detour. It is the way. Strength isn't loud. It's silent resilience. It's showing up again and again when the world expects you to fold. It's choosing virtue over vengeance, reason over reaction. From pain, the Stoic draws empathy. From hardship, humility. From trial, tenacity. And so nothing is wasted. No experience is meaningless. Everything becomes fuel for growth. The fire that burns the weak refines the strong. The Stoic steps through the flames not to prove something to the world, but to himself. Pain is the teacher. Virtue is the lesson. And through it all, the Stoic becomes unbreakable.